Hey everyone, Salvatore here. By now, you're probably used to my short cinematic approach to these truck sims, covering different topics and gameplay ideas. But today, we're trying something a little different. I'm taking you with me from start to finish on a full delivery. And if you think this is going to be your ordinary boring highway cruise, oh boy, you're in for a surprise. This is one of the most intense, narrow and visually stunning routes I've ever driven in ATS. We're taking on a route where there is barely enough road for a full-size rig. So get comfortable, grab a coffee, or maybe something stronger, and join me for a trip to the heart of Mexico. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everybody, and welcome. Wherever you're watching from, I hope you're comfortable because today we're gonna have a slightly different video. Now, before we leave this yard, I just wanna take a second and say thank you. I know it sounds like a cliche, but we are almost 1,000 in this channel, in our community, 1,000 subscribers. That's wild to me. I never thought this would actually happen when I started making my crazy video ideas with concepts, and it's just a humbling experience. So I just figured this would be a good opportunity for me to get to know you, and well, more so for you to get to know me. I know I'm gonna have a monologue, but still, it's good bonding time. We are in the Kenworth W900 Highway Killer, so it's a mod, very well made, a lot of details, a lot of customizable parts, so that's really cool. But also, we are in Mexico. This is the Reforma map, and I gotta say, I took a look at the map when I selected this route, and it's gonna be wild because it's been a while since I actually drove in the game. And I was editing and I was taking shots and cinematic shots, but I didn't really get the chance to play a lot. So that changes today. When I came to take this cargo, I actually had to really check my mirrors and make sure I'm not hitting anything. So there's gonna be a right turn here where we have to pay attention. And we might even have to use the sidewalk a bit, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll be okay. Let's make sure we're clear to go. Well, I could have probably done that a bit better, but no matter. Like I said, it's I'm used to playing ATS obviously, but I don't really use map mods, not recently, and having to squeeze your way through these alleys is just it's great. It's actually a lot of fun, and I do recommend that you try it. I think we're clear here. I kept hearing rumors about this map mod. Some of you told me in the comments that, hey, just install that mod and you're fine, you don't need anything else. And I was like, sure, it might be nice, but I didn't actually think it would be that big. Like, what these guys been doing is just mind-blowing. Like, the detail and everything is just amazing. And the sound of this truck, God. You feel great in the cab. I recommend you try it. You won't regret it for sure, especially if you're a fan of Kenworth. But most of you probably already know about it, and you might be sick of it. For me, it's just the first time when I use it, so fresh experience. In other news, I just emailed scssoftware. I wanted to see if I could maybe be considered to receive early copies of the game, even if paid. I don't mind paying for them, but the opportunity to make content with the new DLCs before they get released would really help the channel, I believe. And I know this practice really hinders the smaller channels. Now, I do understand that for you to be eligible for that, you might need to put in the work first, and I'm fine with that. It might be too early for my channel to have that kind of option, but never hurt trying. So I emailed them, I told them who I am, what am I planning to do, what this channel is about, and we'll see. I'll keep you posted if they end up responding, and hopefully they will say yes. But yeah, we're just leaving the city now, and already, God, look at this, just gorgeous. I'm not sure if you can see, but the truck tilts, so the roads are not really level, which, oh, that's actually heavy incline. I can actually feel the force feedback in my wheel. I can feel how whenever, you know, one wheel is slightly lifted, you kind of lose a bit of traction, so we have to pay attention here. So far, so good. Oh, look at that valley. I'm using Be My Tracker, by the way, to move my heading game, and I did a video on that maybe a month ago. It's I'll just recap it real quick for those of you who don't know. It's a software that uses your webcam, and paired with OpenTrack, which is an open source free little software that allows you to move your heading game. Just changed my experience really overall. It's much more immersive, and I don't think I could go back to keyboard controls when it comes to moving the camera. And we all know how the mouse feels. The mouse is jittery, and you know, you might be okay using it when you play for your own, but when it comes to content, you know, when I move my mouse to the right, it's just so hurtful to my eyes. And yeah, this basically solves my issue without having to break the bank, because obviously I would love to have maybe a Tobii eye tracker, or even a Track IR5, I think that's what it's called, but they have a different price tag. It's a bit of a different technology. This is basically just me having a webcam, looking at it, and then it tracks my eyes, it tracks my head, so it does the job, especially for slow-paced games such as ATS. I think that's all you need. And they actually have a free demo on Steam. You can play for like 3 hours for free. That's what I did initially. I used those 3 hours to adjust the settings, you know, see if it's good enough, and then I eventually ended up paying the full $30 for it, and I don't regret it. And yeah, if you want to try it, it's free on Steam, why not? And I saw it recently because one of my buddies, he was actually really impressed with the way it works, and when he checked the Steam page, it was actually off by, I think, 30%. It went down to 20 something bucks, so that's definitely a good deal if you ask me, especially if you have a webcam. And speaking of webcams, I am planning to buy a new one and eventually record my wheel in these longer form videos where gameplay is the main focus. And yeah, I already got the small setup with the tripod and some other things. I'm just looking for a sale really. I'm looking at the Razer Kio Pro. I think it has great quality. I think it has a better FOV. The one that I'm using right now for the Be My Tracker is the Razer Kio, I guess the base model, not the X one, which is cheaper, and it's you know, a bit more on the entry side. But yeah, this one is good enough. But if I'm going to upgrade, I would go for the Razer Kio Pro. And I'm also concerned about the ability to have two of the same kind in Razer Synapse. I've read online, saw some blogs and some posts, and some people had issues with connecting two of the same webcams. So just to avoid that, I'm gonna get two different models. It should be coming in the next month. I'm just looking for a sale. I'm not looking to do anything rushed, because right now I don't necessarily need it. It would have been nice to have it for this video, but I mean, I still have a lot of projects in mind. There are more on the cinematic side, some topics that I'd like to cover, and then eventually when we will be able to record more of a long form content, then that should be ready by then. So yeah, just some information about where I'm going with the channel. I'm not gonna say too much now. I do have a few other videos that are in the production, you know, writing the script, figuring out what I want to present and how I could express my idea, you know, just to actually be relevant to the game. I'm not just looking for content like a filler. I want to talk about the real subject, something that I'm passionate about, something that I actually believe it might make a difference. So yeah, a few other videos are gonna come in the next month. Also, I have a big project in mind that I already started working on. I mean, I'm still in the early phases of that project, but just to give you an idea, it's a short film based in ATS, and I mean, it might be a combination of both games, ETS2 and ATS. I'm not gonna share too much of the script, but it looks like it's going that way, and it's just, you know, looking at the logistics around it, and I'm not sure I'm ready to what that would entail and the amount of effort that you need to, you know, to put into it. I have an idea, and it's gonna come together probably this summer, but there's still a few good weeks, maybe months to go until that happens. Oh, that must have been a rock, hopefully. But yeah, it's a short movie using ATS and ETS2 probably as a, you know, just from the game footage. I already talked to a couple of my friends, and they're gonna help me with the shots that I have to take where I need to spawn multiple vehicles. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really nice. Then again, it's a trucking game, and maybe I'm aiming too far. Maybe it's just a stupid idea. But you know, I just think of something. If I think it would be really cool, if I think it's something I would watch, I just go for it. So that's just the idea behind it. Well, look at this landscape here. I'm actually glad I picked a powerful engine, because it might not look like it is, but it's a really steep climb. Like, you know, I'm struggling to get speed sometimes. And yeah, I mean, I can talk to you about some of the questions I've seen in the comments of the previous videos, and a lot of you asked me about my rig, and I guess that's something I could use in the description. I used to have it in the description, so my older videos would have it, but I just chose not to put it anymore. I don't think it's relevant. But if you want to know, it's a really simple rig. It's a 4070 Ti paired with I think an i5 13600K for the processor, and then there's like 32 gigs of RAM. I recently upgraded my storage. I got two other M2s of 2 terabytes, because these videos take a lot. Like only this footage, probably 30 minutes long. You know, the gameplay footage probably took like 40 to 50 gigabytes. So you know, they add up, and I'm trying to have a backup for the channel assets. So that's the most recent upgrade. As far as the gaming rig, like the wheel and everything, I'm using the Logitech G923. I had the G29 for like 4 or 5 years, and I always wanted to upgrade to a Thrustmaster, even a Moza at some point. But for now, I mean, I sold that other one, and then a really good deal came for the G923, and I was really considering not going for it, because it's not, in my opinion, that back then, oh, that's heavy. In my opinion, back then, it wasn't much of an upgrade, to be honest. It was just, you know, a few years newer. But I gotta say, the force feedback actually feels different. I'm not sure if it's because of the true force that's present in the newer models, G923, but it does feel much better. Not just in ETS2 or ATS, also in some other games that I'm playing. And that's really nice to see. Eventually, I think the next upgrade will either be a Thrustmaster or a Moza rig. Obviously, it depends on the finances, and it depends on how life goes by that point, but it will happen eventually, I'm sure. Just we take it slow, one day at a time, and see where this goes. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna have a nice setup, and by the time you're gonna see that setup, maybe as a, you know, just POV driving somewhere on the corner of my gameplay for the longer videos. It's gonna look really nice. Engine brake really helps us here. Now, I'm not sure if it's obvious, but I do have to focus on the road. Normally you listen to a podcast, you listen to music, you don't really have to pay a lot of attention when you play. But here, like, you know, it's unpredictable. And I'm not trying to rush it, but then I don't want to go 20 miles an hour because I don't want to bore you guys. And at some point I'll run out of things to say. So yeah, if you're still here, I gotta say, you're 15 minutes in, this means a lot. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this format of content. Now, still, we're focused on the cinematic type of videos, and at least for now, these are not going to be as often. But if you guys like it, and then, you know, the feedback is good, I'll definitely squeeze some more in. in the meantime. So yeah, I'm not sure who made this map. I should have done a better job researching this, but thumbs up, and they have my full respect. Like, this is SCS quality right here. There are a few other mods that I could have used to enhance this experience that I haven't. I had to drop them at some point for a cinematic shot that I had to take, and it's about some sound mods, but there's a lot more that you can do to improve the sound quality. This truck has it really nice already. It's very well made. And there's one other thing that I wanted to touch bases on. Now, I don't want to talk about ETS2 too much in an ATS video, but in one of my recent videos I actually talked about the future of ETS2, and the idea behind it was simple. Where in 2025 there's a few more places left within Europe that they could add: Ireland, Faroe Islands, Iceland, and then obviously there's Belarus, there's Ukraine, there's Moldova, and that's pretty much it. Now, the idea, and I got mixed feelings about that one. Some people thought that's true. Some other thought that ETS2 will keep expanding towards Asia and Africa, and they did mention that UA, Ukraine, and then Moldova, they're not in the game yet as DLCs, and this is just my take. Now, the heart of Russia, which was announced, and it never released for the obvious political reasons. It's been frozen in time. I don't think that will release anytime soon. And then Belarus kinda falls in that category due to the politics around it. And then Moldova, which is not necessarily involved there, but it's a small country, and I don't think they will add it on its own. So in the event where Ukraine eventually releases, Moldova will be part of it, I'm sure. But unless that's the case, we will not see them. So then we're going west, and what's left? We have the small countries, right? The really small ones: Liechtenstein, Andorra, San Marino. They're not enough to justify a DLC, a paid one at least. So they might add them just for the sake of it, but that's gonna be free content, if you ask me. And then we have Iceland, Ireland, and Faroe Islands. Now, it's safe to say Iceland and Faroe Islands, there'll be a package. That's just what I think. And it's probably gonna be that way. I can't be 100% sure, obviously. I don't have any sources confirming that, but it just, it makes sense. It's really logical for them to go that way. And then there's Ireland. Now, Ireland is a really, really nice one, and I think a lot of people will love to see it. But then again, UK is in a state where you don't want to be there right now. I don't think anybody plays through UK, and then before Ireland can actually release, we're probably gonna have to get the UK reworked, and that's probably gonna come eventually. But yeah, all in all, if they would be fast, that's like what, maybe 2 years worth of content, and then that's it. And then in ATS, well, different story. Over 20 plus states left to cover, and I'm not really worried about it. It's a lot of room that they can use to expand. Now, and also, some of you like to think about American Truck Simulator as a North American continent, which might imply that Canada, obviously Alaska at some point, might be added in the game. So there is a lot of room left to cover here, and I'm grateful for that because the game feels amazing. But the one thing that worries me, and I might be in the dark here because I kept hearing rumors about the new engine and about the graphical improvements they're working on. And don't get me wrong, like, I love SCS, and what they're doing with the game, in my opinion, is great. I'm gonna continue to support them, but I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. I hope it is. And in the event where it's not going to happen, for both games, ETS2 and ATS, are we gonna be stuck for another 5-10 years on the same engine? It's obvious by now that there's no talks for other games. ATS is pretty much gonna be here for at least another 5 years of development, 6 years, who knows how much it takes them. Who knows with this new technology, maybe the AI gets involved and it's going to be easier and easier to do these maps. But then still you got to think about the customer. You can't really drop all the 20 states in 2 years even if you have them ready, because you want those to sell. So then they will use that strategy, right? They will release them, maybe 3 of them each year, 2 of them. So some people keep getting something fresh, so they keep coming back to the game. So yeah, it's a lot of room to speculate about it. And I'm not one to speculate. I don't really like doing it, but sometimes I can't help it because I care about the game, and I want to be right about what's happening, and I want to be wrong when I'm a bit lost of hope, if that's even a saying. Yeah, so we'll know eventually, but for now we can only speculate and we can only hope it goes in the right direction. We are hitting some traffic here. Now I'm not sure how the AI actually behaves in this modded map. So far so good. If we get a chance, we'll try to overtake it. It's not smart at all, but we'll see. Wow, we're already 21 minutes in, and yeah, if you're still here, what can I say? Thank you really. Oh. I think I could go faster. Now, it might not be safe or ideal, but I think I could go faster than this truck ahead. I'll look for an overtaking opportunity. Hopefully we can do it safely. And also, if you saw my last video, I got the chance to play the Truck World Australia, the demo, the first hole, and boy, it was nice. Now, I did mention in the video that as of right now, I'm not sure that's an actual contender for either ETS2 and ATS. Time will tell, but the base ingredients are there. You know, we had Alaskan Truck Simulator, and that was really, really hyped. At least for me, I had a lot of hope. It will turn out to be the next ATS, the next ETS2. But then they had a lot of cool features, don't get me wrong, but the driving felt off, the graphics were awful, the performance was not great. So then, we all want to be able to get out of our track in ATS and ATS2. We all want to be able to do other stuff, check the trailer, check the cargo, use the hinges, all that fun stuff. But we gotta say that all that without the proper driving experience, without the proper immersiveness that these games manage to hold, it doesn't count for much. So I would love to see it in ETS2 and ATS, but I'm not sure if that's even feasible at the moment. Now, Truck World Australia, on the other hand, the graphics, stunning. Now, I'm not sure how the performance would be for a lower rig, for lower specs. For me, I was able to hold a solid 60 FPS with maxed out graphics and record it as well. So that wasn't an issue for me. But then I did feel like the computer was, just rumbling up, and the fans were going crazy. So I'm sure it did use a lot of resources. So yeah, that remains to be seen. Maybe they would even optimize it further. I haven't seen any DLSS there, and for a game that's releasing in 2025, that might be a solid option, right? Then you basically generate the frames. The quality is not that different. Now, sure, there's gonna be people playing native 4K and that they don't need it, but those have the PCs that can bear it. So, but for the average players having DLSS, maybe you have a lower graphics card, like a 4050 or 3060. It's gonna make a difference. So I'm hoping that will be in the game. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. And about the gameplay, it was really nice. The off-road section, I gotta tell you, was really impressive. The differential lock, that actually worked, and it made off-roading, the little I got to experience, very, very enjoyable. So if you haven't tried it, but you would like to, it's free on Steam. I'd say it's worth a shot. It recognizes your wheel instantly if you're on a Logitech side of hardware. I'm not sure if Thrustmaster, probably Thrustmaster is by default supported as well. But yeah, it's worth checking out. Let me know what you think about it if you end up playing it. I really liked it. I really liked it. Now, it's not perfect, and the one thing that worries me is that the map looks stunning, but it does feel like it's empty. And I guess it makes sense to some extent because it's outback Australia. It's not meant to be packed with cities, right? But still, we just hope to see a variety of things. The random road event where you had to, you had a crashed truck and you had to help them out of their ditch, and then you had to tow their trailer to a parking spot so you can clear the road and get the traffic going. That was nice. Also, the sandstorm, which falls into the dynamic weather category, was very, very nice. Just gonna focus here. Oh, look at the power of this truck. Wow. Okay, we're safe. So yeah. Oh, that was... I'm at the age where I'm getting my dose of adrenaline from an overtake with a truck in a virtual sim. But what you gonna do? Yeah, I was talking about Truck World Australia. It was nice. It was nice. And dynamic weather, sandstorms, same. I've seen in the trailer that they also have rain, and it affects the visuals of the truck. So your truck gets dirty, the rain cleans it up, so it's really, really nice. Like I said, it has the right ingredients, and I think if they continue to build on that foundation, we're gonna have a really nice game worth playing. There's been rumors about, or people asking rather, about the porting side of the game to PlayStation, Xbox. I'm not sure about that, really. I'm not sure if it's possible. Some of you actually also asked about the Mac OS, if it's gonna be supported. I'm not sure. Like I said, it took a lot of resources for me on a PC, on a Windows that's kind of built for gaming. At least I did it for gaming. So I'm not sure how the Mac will handle it. Oh, we almost had a slip here. So yeah, it remains to be seen if they announce it on PlayStation 5 and an Xbox. I think, and actually this might be a hot take, but I think whoever, as a gaming company, comes with a decent trucking game that's also available on PS5, Xbox, they're gonna be packed, and they're gonna gain a lot of money that will boost up development, and I think that's just the way to go. I'm not sure what's the mechanics and the technology about it. I'm not sure why ETS2 or ATS cannot be ported. I don't have that knowledge. I just know there's a market for it, and I don't think SES is oblivious to this. I think if they could, they would definitely port the games to PS5 or Xbox, or I'm not sure if other consoles would fit the criteria, but at least those two, you'd get millions of players in. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure they have they have a reason why it didn't happen until now, because the company is big enough by now to be able to do that. I'm not sure if it's too much to invest in. I'm not sure if their engine, being that old, would not allow it. So who knows? Who knows? If you know more about it, I would actually like to hear your thoughts. If you have any idea of why these games cannot be ported or weren't by now, let me know. I'm curious to see why. Ooh, that was my bad. I was just looking at the OBS here, make sure we're still recording, and oh boy, I gotta pay attention. Almost half an hour in. I guess we're getting close to the end. Sun setting. Let's see if this is gonna shake us. Yeah, definitely will. Oh, there's another one right here. God. Hopefully no more speed bumps. Now we are getting close to the end here, and for those of you, the crazy ones that are still watching, thank you, really. Hope you enjoyed your drink or your food, whatever you had along this conversation. We're definitely getting close, maybe another 2 or 3 minutes here. Hopefully we're gonna get an easy parking. I don't feel prepared to embarrass myself at the end of the route. Let's just lower our window here. Do I have to... This is a modded map, so I'm not sure if I have to turn off the engine. Probably not. I'm probably not in the right spot. Let's take a look here. Oh, we should be good. I don't think I had to do that, but still. They cleared us, so off we go. Oh yeah, just a few more miles to go. I'll probably get ready to cut to the end here. And then again, thank you for tuning in, thank you for helping me grow this channel from the ground up. We are gonna hit 1,000 subscribers eventually, and that milestone, you know, for at least now, for me, it's just, it's crazy. And then again, to some it's a small thing, to some it's, you know, it's a big thing. To me, it just, again, it's a humbling experience. I never thought this would actually happen, and I know I'm not, you know, one of the big channels yet, but it's something special about having people around you and being able to share your thoughts. So it's, you know, like I said, it's an eye-opening experience for me, and I do recommend that if you thought about doing this, if you have a subject or a game or anything that you're passionate about, and you think you can bring some value, or, you know, just be funny or anything, don't hesitate to start your journey. It's always gonna be worth in the end, even if, you know, 1,000 people are watching, even if 100,000 are watching, or just one. If you feel good doing it, then that's, you know, that's enough. Yeah, we're gonna park here and we're gonna end the video. Closing thoughts: I hope to see you keep coming back to the channel. More content is coming up, and just my opinion, some of it is really worth watching. And like I said, if I'm able to get that short movie going, boy, I just, you know, I dream the day when that video is ready to be posted, because if it's gonna end up the way I think it is, it's gonna be amazing. And after this, until the next time, guys, thank you for your time, thank you for being here. Until the next time, stay safe on the road and keep on trucking. Cheers.